Will Christian go today?
We will see. So a little miscommunication yesterday. When stuff like that happens, I always tell Wallers, I'm like, man, they're going to think I'm a dope, but you guys probably already do anyway. So, but yeah, no, we're going to work him out with the medical, and if he can go, then we'll move him into practice. And the same goes for Keyshawn as well.
Do you actually think we spend time making fun of you? Every time you say 1-0 every week or stuff like that, you think we're crushing you. We're not killing you for that stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure it's other things.
It's a lack of information you give us.
Red zone, whatever it may be.
Hey, so Christian is still a rookie. I know he's been a difference maker for you guys, but what is the process for determining whether a guy who hasn't practiced but you decide is physically able to go on game day, just what's realistic to do with him when he's still a young guy, no matter how smart he is?
Well, you said it, though. He is very intelligent and has gotten a ton of reps, I would say, throughout the course of the season. So, we're just going to kind of feel it out. If he feels like he can go at game time and the trainers clear him, then we'll let him go. But if not, then obviously other guys are going to have to pick up the pieces.
Man, I've never had an appendectomy. I've certainly never played in the NFL, and I haven't seen a lot of guys try to come back.
You ever played in the
I know.
NFL? Have you ever played football?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Class
All right.
2A, Indiana. It wasn't much.
Okay.
I've never seen many guys go through it either. Can Dave really play?
What position did you play, Ryan?
What position would you think?
You don't want you.
Water one?
You really want me to answer
Water
that?
one? Safety and tight end and wing tee.
Okay.
Can Dave really play with having 3 practices off of that appendectomy?
I fully expect Dave to play.
Right guard, strong safety.
That's that whole combo.
It was. I liked it. Keyshawn Nixon was dealing with his groin last week, limited in practice on Friday, 94-yard return. And then was a decision made when it was bothering him to on the safe side for him from going back out there?
Yeah. Again, a lot of people are involved in that conversation, but if a player doesn't feel like he can hit his top speed, and certainly you don't want to further aggravate it or make the situation worse, and then he's out for a longer period of time. And we all understand where we're at in the season and what's on the line. So I would say that if he can go, he'll be out there.
Is this what all Friday press conferences are like? I'm not usually here. Is this what I've been missing?
You've totally been missing a lot.
I know you and Rich have both not been willing to clarify exactly how you could have called off the fake punt the other day, but overall, do you feel really good about how far your special teams have come, given the way the last couple of years have gone and where you're at now going into the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think just obviously added some pieces to that room, no question about it. And the coach, adding a guy like Rich has made a tremendous impact. And that's not to say anything against anybody. There's very few like him. And but I would say the development of some of our younger players along the way is made a huge difference. So I think just the overall culture and how we view teams here, you can see we're using more starters on teams as well. And, I think it's been getting better and better and better as the season's progressed.
Glad you mentioned the young guys. I was going to ask about Gaines and Carpenter and the impact that they've made on kicking, especially the kick coverage.
Yeah, I thought the kickoff coverage a week ago was a clinic reel. I mean, our guys just getting 3 tackles inside the 25-yard line was big time. And you saw Reek on the way he bent the corner and made a great play. And just the effort of those guys, all 11 really running down there. And certainly we got a humongous challenge this week with their ability to return kickoffs. And so it's going to be a great challenge for us, but I'm excited to see how we do.
Is Jonathan Ford ready to play? Because I don't think he's actually played in a game yet this year on the D-line.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Matt, I know you can't worry about feelings and you expect guys to be pros, but when you bench somebody like you did with Darnell, and I know you've said he's been a pro about it, but that's not always the case with guys, and you can have guys that kind of go the other way. Was that something you guys really talked about in depth and before doing it, and what have you thought about, you go back to him and he actually looks like he took that to heart and has changed the way he's played somewhat?
Yeah, I would say that was just the way he handled it, being a pro, making sure that he was ready to go when his number was called upon. The way he went in there and the effort and the physicality he showed. And I said, that's what it looks like. And that's the expectations we have for you. And I think he responded the right way. And he could have easily have gone the other way. And I think we've all been around it and seen guys go the other way. But I think it's a great lesson to everybody it's not always going to be easy. You're going to have to fight through some adversity, and it's how you respond in every situation. And that was a great way to respond, and we need to see the same thing moving forward.
Is there a special message for the team, granted they have to have a curfew on the night of New Year's Eve, the night before a game?
No, I think everybody understands what's at stake, and certainly fully expect them and trust that our guys will be responsible and get a good night's rest, because we got a great challenge in front of us, great Minnesota Vikings team, and that team that's well balanced in every phase. So we got to be at our best.
Speaking of adversity, how has Bobby Tunyon handled kind of the lesser opportunities? I mean, he had a big catch obviously last Sunday, but what's he been like in terms of dealing with that?
Well, I thought Bobby showed his best tape against Miami as well. So I thought he was more physical. He had a couple key blocks in the run game, obviously that critical reception. So I think he's trending in the right direction. And a lot of times, you're coming off a major surgery. It takes a minute. So, but just his willingness to throw his face in there, and I mean that's part of that position. And so that was good to see.
I know Zach's played pretty well for you, but how much better do you feel about things with the chance of having Bakhtiari and Yash against those outside linebackers?
Well, you're always trying to get your best guys out there, and not to say that Zach's not one of. He's done an outstanding job, and it makes our job tough as coaches in terms of who we put out there and in what position they're going to play. And Zach, his ability to play multiple positions is a good problem for us.
With that in mind, have you ever had to rely on almost a full rookie class top to bottom like this through a season before?
Well, I think that's a great question. I'm trying to Rolodex through my head right now and think about past situations. I think I don't even look at it like that. I would say who's ever on the roster, you're trying to get your best 11 out there in every situation. And certainly there are times like this year where you have to rely on some younger guys, whether you want to or not, because they're your best 11. And I do think that those guys have progressed throughout the course of the season. And just like anything, the more you do it, the more reps you do it, the more comfortable you get, the better you get. So I think those guys have done a nice job.
Two more, please.
Do you try to limit any kind of scoreboard watching, any watching of the game between 12 and kickoff for the guys? Or, I know they're going to be on their phones or whatever, but...
Yeah, I think that's impossible. So I think we have to worry about ourselves, because it doesn't matter. If we don't take care of business and come out on top, then it really doesn't matter.
Will you be watching, or at least checking the scores of Washington, Cleveland?
I'm not overly concerned about it, to be honest with you. I know we got a huge challenge in front of us, and that's that's a priority, is making sure that my mind's right, our guys' minds are right for what we have coming in here on Sunday afternoon. So not to say that you always, every week, you see the scores. So
Matt, do you want to make one last pitch for your crowd to bring It's a Game, though, on Sunday? Because that would obviously really help you guys.
sounds like you just did it for me, Jason.
I don't think
No.
it means as much.
No, absolutely. Our crowd is going to be absolutely critical for us. So get out your seat and get real loud.